Say it's because you're busy, that you'll lose track of time and miss the bus, or that you're on the bus and you'll miss the stop, or that you're at work and your bills take precedence. Say your timing isn't right. You don't have the right pen. There are all these books you have to read and your chakras aren't aligned. Your environment isn't right. You've got allergies, though truth be told, you've been congested in more ways than one. Maybe it's too much on your mind. It's not something all the grown-ups do, and besides, it's already too late in the evening. You have to get up early for work, so you have to go to sleep early, even though you never used to say that before. Maybe you still feel guilty having lost so much time the last time you gave into it, so you just lie and tell everyone you've lost it when you know it's right there, breathing down the back of your neck. Maybe you're still in that room and you still remember holding your stepmother's hand, saying hello as her eyes said goodbye. Maybe it's all too much. A room full of people walking out of the door at once and you refuse to acknowledge the insurrection, telling folks that you're fine when they can clearly see the fissures on your face. Or maybe you've become so preoccupied with running that you stop caring about where you were going, or maybe, just maybe, you finally got hit by so much that you discorporated. Pieces of you spread throughout the whole of your existence. Tell everybody that the show must go on, even and especially when you're not on stage. There's a room full of people and you prefer claustrophobia to your fear of heights. Maybe you're too busy trying to save the world even though nobody asked you. Maybe it's because you got a lot of things going on that no one will care. Maybe you believe the fire inside you should asphyxiate, that you hope to God the anger inside you stays too preoccupied with eating you alive before it learns how to use the door. That you would rather be the master to your slaves and the captain of your soul, say that Jupiter isn't aligned with Atlantis, say that it's been years since the doctor said we need your permission to terminate. And purgatory is every minute after you've said yes. Maybe for whatever the reason you prefer your light in the valley. Maybe you got a lot going on. Say you're afraid it's gone. Say you're afraid it's still there. Tell me you're scared of the big bad monster that will make you come and cleanse your soul of everything you won't let go of. Tell me you lost faith in yourself. Tell me whatever you got to, but don't sit here and tell me that you have nothing to write about. Clap if you're sitting next to someone beautiful. All right. I said there'll be everybody in this damn room. Now everybody come by themselves. Don't make it a long car ride home. My name is Joe B, aka, hey man, what's up? Or here's that $20 I owe you. Whatever you prefer. I'm not partial. I'm gonna go ahead and do some poems real quick. As of last March, I'm officially a published author. And it's been a pretty good damn time. Yeah, so I'm gonna read a few more poems if that's cool?
Yeah!
Right. Okay, so this one is called Dear Hiccups. Dear Hiccups, if you were a person, I'd steal one of your credit cards. Find an automated DVD rental kiosk, one I know you frequent, one I know you rent from quite often. I'd rent as many movies as possible and burn them all. If you were a person, I'd replace all of the sugar in your home with salt, except for the sugar you've allotted for your coffee, replacing it with sleeping powder. Basically, what I'm trying to say is fuck you. Thank you. All right. I don't like the hiccups. I don't know if I've made that clear. All right, okay. So, how are y'all doing this evening? Good. Do you have any haiku fans in the house? Yeah! All right. So I'm gonna read this haiku and then I'm gonna read another poem. You ready? All right. Dear moon, be it full, half, or slim, I will always long to kiss your face. Thank you. Okay, so, here we go. This one is called, let me see here. This one is called Make Sure You Label Your Little Bookmarky Things Before You Come on Stage Thinking You All Fancy with your goddamn poems.
It's my favorite.
Thank you. Put a lot of work into it. Okay. This one's called Estranged. Tomorrow's in love with me. Has been for quite some time, but I'm already in a relationship. Estranged from today, still seeing yesterday on the side. Tomorrow knows that I am not happy. Knows that I may not be the victim though. Doesn't want what I won't let go of. Tomorrow sees how I neglect today. Wonders why I don't just leave. sees the way I look at yesterday, wonders why I go back there, wonders if I ever really left. Tomorrow knows that a lover that will not let go of the past can never hold your hand. Knows a problem you don't want solved is not a problem. Will not have a lover addicted to conflict, so she leaves me to my maelstrom. Tells me I only have what I want. Says she can't be a party to my purgatory, but promises that should I break away, that when I am done having such a ball with my chains, she will be waiting. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 more poems from my book, and I'm gonna do a poem that I've been meaning to do for Amir Safi for quite some time. Give it up for Amir Safi. Give it up for him. Okay, so where's the poet who did the poem about daughters? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Okay, so thank you for that. This is for you. She will be what she already is. A beautiful little girl with sepia skin, soft like a pleasant thought, and kissed by the sun before she was born because it could not wait to play with her. Counselor in her right eye, magic in the left, eyes her very own shade of brown, the very hue of wisdom. Whatever you've been dying to tell someone, she'll just look at you like she already knows. A cute little nose with an angel's ears, a smile, not infectious, but vaccinating. Her very giggle will inoculate your soul from sadness. From her birth, there were only 2 types of people, those who love her and hate themselves. She will possess a heart that pumps resilience, a timeless soul with limitless imagination. She'll be happy to share, but bring your own. Because it wouldn't be right for her to do it all by herself, although she probably could. Laughing, hugging, and crayons will range among her chief priorities. She will try to color between the lines, but should she etch beyond said barriers, and that is just what needed to happen. Nap time is something she will only do when necessary, as there is simply too much for her to do to waste time closing her eyes. She will have a thing for applesauce. Applesauce will be important. There will be days when applesauce will be all that stand between us and total annihilation. She will never hide unless it's her turn to, or the world just really got on her nerves that day. At some point, she will want to fly. And despite gravity's lessons, she will earn altitude for even believing she had a place among the clouds. She will avoid going crazy by not fighting it, dancing and swaying in the air in the rain as if they were the only partners suitable. She'll make a fine caretaker for every heart in her hands, though few will ever be worthy of hers. Loving her will be so very easy, but she can help you if respecting her proves difficult. She'll find a woman in the mirror one day, and they will love each other forever, and her real beauty will be found in strength, sacrifice, and resilience, and even the dreams she won't want to have will guide her, but some days she'll just need to stop. Rest her hands at her backside. She'll breathe. She'll keep going. That is what heroes do. You're a hero. You will always believe in magic, but there will be days where you'll speak incantations like daddy and hear nothing back. You will look for the first man to ever love you with a space for him in your heart shaped like those vacant seats at your tea parties. And some days I won't be there. Wishes from birthdays, non-refundables, and I won't be there. Lost butterfly kisses. Daddy, how do I look? And some days I won't be there, and you will still look for me within the crevices of your memory, saving me a place with impossibility. But with or without my presence, you will keep it moving, dealing with factors as opposed to living with excuses, because this is what women do. You will write out the pages of your own destiny, living within the key of your own song, and at the end of your day, there'll be a place outside where the sun can't wait to play with you. And the wind and the rain can't wait to dance with you. And there will be laughter and tears and applesauce. You will be what you already are. That's just the beginning.
Y'all, are y'all enjoying our feature Joe B? Make some noise, please. Make some noise for applesauce. I think one time when I said make some noise if you're next to somebody beautiful, I saw someone make some noise and then they got married and had some kids. I might be making it up, I might not be, but he's spreading love throughout the whole community. So if you want Joe B to come back, if you want to give him gas money, please, 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 put some kind of money in here that folds. We appreciate the kind of change that jingles, but we like the kind that folds. If you want to take some of his work home, do you have merch for sale tonight?
I do.
How much is your merch, Joby?
Only $16.
Only $16.
Only $16? You can't afford not to buy it!
And I'm sure Joe B would love to talk to you, even if you don't want to purchase his merch. So I'm gonna pass the tip jar around. I'm gonna let him get back to the feature. Y'all make some noise for Joe B.
Give it up for your host, please. I host an open mic back home. It's called Spoken and Heard. It's basically a nudist colony for the soul. No matter who or what you are, for 10 years I've created a space where you could just come and say whatever's on your mind, or just be there, and that's good enough. Woo! And as of November the 12th, we'll be celebrating our 10-year anniversary, and I'll be handing it over to my co-host to continue on with it. I say all that to say that as a host, the host is never the star of the show. The host is the ferryman, the one that makes sure that everybody is celebrated enough to get them on stage and celebrated well after they walk off of it. So please give it up for your host this evening. Please make it clear to him that he's done a damn good job. All right, let me see here. This poem's called Route 803. Dear pedestrian, walking slow on the crosswalk because you're texting. Clearly you DGAF. By the time you get your lame, do as you please looking ass across the street, it will be time for work tomorrow. Matter of fact, I don't even think you work over here. I think you just wake up every day going to random crosswalks just to upset the natural order of things. That's what I think. Matter of fact. Over there Googling shit for no reason. You make me wish the bus had a horn that simulated machine gun fire. Moving slow like you in a hurry to get back to yesterday. You make me wish you could be catapulted across the street, or at least have God pick you up and put you somewhere else. You make me want to get out of the bus momentarily to beat you with a wiffle ball bat filled with rubber cement until you are safely across the streets. Hurry the hell up, please. So I'm gonna do some poems. I have some CDs available. I have 2 CDs available over there, 2 hard copies, but do me a favor. Anybody with a smartphone, which should be everybody except for birds and small dogs.
Small dogs.
Small dogs. Look up, do me a favor and Google Element 615 Bandcamp, or just go to element615.bandcamp.com. Some of the poems that you're hearing tonight will be on the Bandcamp page. For those of you who haven't heard or weren't here for it, number one, welcome to Earth. As of last August, we got hit pretty hard multiple times. So I've made it a point so that every single CD downloaded off my Bandcamp page, the proceeds from which will go to support anybody, anywhere affected by a natural disaster from now on for the rest of my life. So that's any CD purchased off that page. So if you don't have enough for a book, or if you bought my book, or if you bought my book for a broke friend that couldn't afford it, you can still purchase any of the CDs online and know that it will go to support someone or somewhere that needs it. Old shit.
Old shit!
Tell yourself you can't. Tell yourself not today. Say you're not able. You can't afford it. You're too hot or you're too cold and no one else wants to. I mean, why does it always have to be you? You don't feel right. This doesn't feel right. I mean, they're going to say no, or they're going to say yes, or they won't say anything. And you'll fail. You'll fail and they'll laugh and you'll die right there. So just give yourself any reason to avoid or evade. Let's just cite every drawback, cop out. Tell yourself anything, and I mean anything, to help you believe that you should do nothing, and say it loud enough for me to hear you. So I can call you a liar to your face. So I can grab you by your neck, pull you from the muck and mire of your self-pity just to wash you with the waters of what I believe, because I believe you should end. I think you should die. I feel your life should cease, so that you can live the life you've held on back order. Like the shoe actually fit. You're not allergic to the light, you just don't want it on you. And I don't get it, because it's all I've ever seen come out of you when your arms aren't folded. Let's acknowledge that you even have arms. Quit complaining that you don't have the strength, because if that was the truth, you wouldn't hold on to shit like you do. You are not a prisoner. You're a warden in a one-person jail, and what's worse, you're a workaholic. Wreak havoc on your hopelessness. Subtract it from the whole of you. Believe a little less in your doubts. You can't say that this is pointless if you won't pick your head up and look where it's pointing. You scream, I love you, in a crowd loud enough for you to hear it and just revel in all of that nervous happiness. I believe that is called glowing. You are everything you wish you were. You just don't wish to realize it. Pass on the plates of outside opinion unless you can be fed without suffering from the indigestion of indecision. Turn why didn't I into why didn't I sooner. Change I don't know from question the statement and quit whining unless you're trying to make somebody laugh, thereby making yourself a superhero. Accept your own friend requests. And quit fighting with yourself unless you're just sparring when you need to get it on with anyone. I mean anyone trying to knock you down. I'm not saying look for a fight. I'm saying don't run from it. Pretending it's not there doesn't mean it plays along. File a restraining order on your self-restraint and be the devil under all those demons you are. Just because you created them don't mean they get an easy ride today. And quit reading all your little motivational posters because we know you ain't listening. You're probably not even paying attention to the poem. This is called life. And it happens. You better act like you want it, but it's not yours. It never has been. It's a path. It twists and it turns, and you will go where it goes. But I heard if you walk it just right, you get to rest while those not as far along as you ask you for the directions. And when you reach the very end, there's only everything waiting for you with the honor of a memory. I mean, you are so much more than your misery, but it's not up to me to be you. I'm just happy I know you. I will always be there, behind you, beside you, above you, with all of those who love you, waiting for you to erupt from your thick husk, to cut through the callus of your condition and call whatever crawls out your character. To finally accept the truth that you won't hear as you've adhered to your cherished fears, that we are amazing. That we are made of both His and each other's love, that we are both fearfully and wonderfully made, that we are made of stronger things. Thank you.
Yeah!
How much I got left?
Keep going, keep going.
All right, okay, so I live my life from paycheck to paycheck. So in exchange for all the services I render, I get the next day. It means you're barely able to pay the bills. And no matter how many tomorrows I get, they go so fast that before the check comes, all my money is spent. And all I got left to show for it is a kitchen drawer full of yesterdays that I can do nothing with. I've applied for assistance, but you only get help sporadically. It prompts one to stop asking. I gave up on waiting for someone who breathes, someone who bleeds, someone who's going to fail just like I do. I gave up on waiting for someone else's life to guide me out. I've never been one for waiting anyway. I decided that since I'm on borrowed time, I better live this life now before someone comes back around asking for the money. I decided to live like the money's here instead of writing a check I can't be sure I can cash, because I'm still kind of sore from the last time I found out that I was wrong. So from now on, all bets are off. And nothing is anything anymore, but if you have to know anything about me, then know this. I come from a place of not many but few. I come from a place of no better than you, and that's the last part of this poem that will rhyme. I will no longer write to recreate what you see when you do take notice, because when I ask you and you tell me, I got no idea what you're talking about. From now on, I will live my life behind blue bars in a white cell, just waiting to receive a temporary pardon, or better yet, some time out in the yard every time I push out a real piece. Give you some soul food as opposed to some knee-jerk chicken. From now on, I'm the third word in the sentence of 16, and I don't care if you forget me, just don't let the thought perish. I will give a damn. I'll keep some on me in case you need one. And if I find out I know more than you, then I will see to it that we are on even keel before our time together is done. And I will no longer wait for someone to love me, because when you think about it, if you don't love yourself enough to be happy being alone, you've been cheating on yourself with everyone you thought you were giving your heart to. And I am done living my life as an adulterer. I will live my life as a slave to the idea of my own freedom, wearing the whelps on my back with pride. So if you got to know anything about me, then look at yourself. For some of me and all of you and vice versa. I will pay what I owe for what I have done. When my time is nigh, yes, that check will be in cash, not credit. Don't ask me for anything other than nothing and maybe about 5 seconds from now, because that was all that I had. Don't ask me about tomorrow or further. I got no future. I already lived it. And all I got left, I've got the past, and my Lord knows I've got enough trouble letting that go. So, and all that I have, what I know that I have is today. Today works.
Yeah! Y'all ain't ready? Y'all ain't ready for this call?
Okay, so I believe I'm gonna go ahead and close with this one. I tend to have to close with this one because it's a personal piece. And if it's too real, you can't really read shit after. So I'm gonna. He's laughing at me.
It's so vulnerable.
It is. We all gotta make it some kind of way. Ain't nobody perfect. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that sometimes you gotta make choices. There are things you're gonna do that aren't gonna sit right with you, but you're gonna have to do what you have to do because we all have to make do as we can. That being said, I have to get this off my chest. It was with much shame, some humility. It's high time I confess that I was a low-budget stripper. Ladies, I was a good time if you were a good tipper and couldn't afford to go to the other establishments due to the high cover charges and the overwhelming burden of your financial responsibilities. If you were looking for a good time, you could find me and my cohorts. Love Tumbler, Juicy Fruit, and Buick at the Hole in the Wall. Shaking what our mothers bestowed with reckless abandon and, dare I say, a hypnotically garish charm. If you were a lady with a woman's needs, poor vision, and lowered expectations, I was your ambassador to ecstasy. And because I was especially understanding during the hard times, in lieu of all that monetary gratuity, I would gladly accept one of a small number of certificates attached to part of an advertisement, entitling the bearer to certain stated benefits, such as a gift or a cash refund at the time of purchase, and thus I earned the name Koopa. AKA Affordable Thunder, AKA Body of Plenty. I was a one-man wonder and all others paled in comparison. Especially Buick, that bastard. I brought Big Sexy back without fail. I was the only stripper with a sliding scale and a coin belt. And tube socks. And knee and elbow pads. And boxers with pockets instead of a G-string, because there are some things I just won't do anymore, especially after that night with Mrs. Walker and the VIP Boom Boom Room. Ma'am! They don't serve Alizé anymore. Mine was a life of both leisure and legend. Fame, savings, everything was made available to me. Nothing I didn't want or need, especially L-O-V-E and psh, seriously. I was more than a one-woman man, and besides, what lady could handle more than what she got on stage anyway? And why would I forsake all the money I would make on Bingo Tuesdays or double coupon nights? Precious few could understand the lifestyle of a man who anonymously received a rose with a copy of the Sunday Times on a Thursday. And how can I tell any woman that I used to shake my ass for pieces of paper redeemable for cash value? How can I tell any woman that wanted a viable connection with me that I used to?
It's all right, get free.
It's okay.
Get free, it's okay.
But I used to pop it for 50 cents off Pop Secret. Twerk it for 20 cents off green beans that I really would do anything for a Klondike bar, but that was before the stripping, and I don't want to talk about it. If you're sitting next to someone beautiful, my name is Joe B, aka Joe Brundage. Find me online, get at me over here. said, I got books available. If you don't have money, if you buy my book or don't want to buy my book, buy one for a broke friend that does like my shit. Support the struggle. Again, clap if you sit next to someone beautiful. Shout out to Right About Now. Thank you all.
Give it up for your feature, Joe B, y'all. Come on. Come on! Are y'all ready to hear who won the slam? Yeah? Yeah, DJ, drop that track for me. Okay, he's